Well, we're joined now by three parliamentary candidates, each hoping to win a seat in the next general election. Ed Fordham, the Liberal Democrat candidate, Sean Bailey, a Conservative candidate, and Rachel Reeves, a Labour Party candidate. Are you guys as appalled as everybody in the street seems to be? Yes,
quite frankly. I think this whole saga, you should just put your hands up, apologise and get on with it. The only way to return confidence is speed. All these reviews, looking at stuff is ridiculous. The man in the street wants speed. He wants something done. It needs to be done now.
How does it seem to you?
I mean, obviously people in my constituency are disappointed by what's happening. My current MP, John Battle, he does have the trust and the respect of local people, but there is a wider feeling.
But you're personally appalled, aren't you?
Oh yeah, and I'm really disappointed, and I think all of us are going into politics because we want to make a difference. We might have different views about policies, but we want to make a difference to our communities.
It rather raises the question, why on earth do you want to join this club?
Well, I'm standing on a sort of change and reform type ticket, and that's the sort of tradition, but the whole thing feels like it sort of stinks, and the bit that I find most insidious is it's being forced out by a newspaper. It's not being offered, it's not freedom of information. It's a newspaper leaking it out day by day by day. The Speaker could solve this tomorrow and release a CD with all the stuff and it could be transparent.
Yeah, this has been going on for years and years, and it took some sort of deus ex machina to make it public. Yeah. What do your family say? My dad's embarrassed by it. I spoke to him tonight on the way here, and he's like, why on earth do you want to join this bunch of scoundrels? And I say, because it's not about me, it's about my constituency. Sean Bailey, how does it seem, as a Conservative, to be going out, facing the prospect of knocking on doors, when people now know that there are people in your party who live in houses with moats and swimming pools and chandeliers and so on, and expect the taxpayer to pay for them?
I've been canvassing since this all blown up, we probably all have, and the unfortunate thing about this, people are resigned to it. They're not at all surprised. There's been lots of things that's happened nationally that make people turn away from politics, and this has confirmed it for them. It's been across the board, it's been in all parties, and what needs to stop is the dithering. We need to make the change, and change needs to come now. I'm personally involved because I want to be seen as part of that change, but I think right here, right now, the Speaker and the leader of all parties needs to make that change, and quickly.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this has shown there hasn't been much of a change.
You're completely right, but that's what I'm calling for. When are we going to get this change?
We need it now. Your MPs have voted consistently against change. 3rd of July 2008, you voted change down. You had your chance.
Yeah, but when...
But it's... I mean, at the moment, we've got a situation where all the leaders have come out with things they want their MPs to do. We need something, not rules for Lib Dem MPs, rules for the Tories, rules for Labour. We need comprehensive reform, root and branch reform.
You think you're going to be different, don't you?
Well, I mean, I think that we're all going into politics for the right reasons. I hope by the time we get there, Jeremy, that there will be a reform of the system, that there are rules that inspire public trust.
Exactly, you're sounding exactly like Hazel Blears. Hazel Blears, the woman who yesterday held up a cheque for £13,000 she was going to repay.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say...
Let me tell you what she says in 1997. I really do believe this is a turning point in politics, a time when millions of people can begin once again to trust those who govern. Everybody goes in saying, I'm going to be different.
Yeah. I think we need both root and branch reform of the rules themselves, but then every individual MP needs to hold themselves up by the highest standards of integrity, which the electorate rightly expect of them.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, we've been disappointed in our expectation, haven't we?
Yeah, we definitely have, and that's what constituents are saying to all of us, I expect.
They just need to operate in the real world. What happens in the real world needs to happen in the House of Commons. There's this Westminster mist that's turned people away from sensible behaviour. Anybody that I run a small charity. If I treated my expenses like that, the Charity Commission would come down on me like a ton of bricks. They just need to operate the way everybody else does, and it goes back to the core thing. The public are not interested in what happened 4 years ago. They want to know what's going to happen in the next 4 years, and that's why the change needs to be immediate. All these reviews and all this time wasting is that's why the public do not trust and will not change.
But the new system has to be seen to be independent and not decided by the politicians themselves. So I do think it is right that you've got Christopher Kelly coming back with you know, his recommendations, which I believe should be implemented fully and immediately once they come into effect.
All that does is it says, we're MPs, you can't trust us with your money because we might put it in our pockets. That's all it does.
But in no other walk of life. Sean says that, you know, in the charitable sector, in the sector, you know, the business sector where I work, yeah, you can't get away with those sorts of things. But in no other sector do you have the people who are claiming the expenses deciding the rules.
Why
so
it's important that it's done independently.
I agree. His point. You're saying that we can't be trusted.
It should be done independently because it's unique.
That's also saying
because you can't be trusted.
And if that's what people perceive, it's a shame. But the point is, it's unique. It's public funds, and you're in a situation where you need to rebuild trust. And if that means getting some independent body to look at it, then that should be done. If you ask the public, should MPs look at it, you might not get an answer that you like.
Yeah, I think it definitely has to be independent. And after the review, I think that MPs' salaries and whatever the expense system or allowance system might look like in the future should be decided by an independent body, independent of the politicians who benefit from it.
The Speaker of the House is elected by the whole House precisely to represent all MPs, regardless of party. On this, they failed. There have been numerous attempts to reform, and on every single one, it's voted down. And not by the MPs individually, but by the whips. Absolutely, every time.
I'd have to say the Speaker of the House is the last person I'd place any of my confidence in. So if it comes to between letting the Speaker of the House do it or someone independently do it, I mean this particular Speaker of the House, if it comes between him leading the charge or someone independent, I put my hand up, both of them, for somebody independent. This Speaker of the House should not be charged with such an important thing.
All right. And when we get those recommendations from Christopher Kelly, they've got to be implemented immediately and in full.
Okay. Speed is important.
Have you all been on a course about getting the last word?
Thank you all very much indeed.